Good morning. It's Monday, June 8th, I believe. 5 weeks into the diet. 20 weeks to go before there's a competition in Boca that I'm definitely going to do. And I may possibly do a show 3 weeks before that. So it'd be 17 weeks before that show. Everything is going great. My body weight started moving. So being patient and just following the plan definitely helped. So I was kind of stuck there for a little while. Not stuck, but weighing like 200 pounds, 199 point something, maybe, occasionally I would dip down to like 198 point something, but mainly I was staying in like the 199s and even hitting like 200 point something, even though I was theoretically in a 500 calorie per day deficit. And I could see myself getting leaner. I was getting leaner, but it was not yet reflected on the scale. And it was just like, man, like what the hell? What's going on? And I knew it had to do with water weight. But anyway, we've moved past that. So this past week, I dipped down into the 196s. So I've been as low as 196.6. I was that for like 2 days in a row. Before that, it was 196.8. To this morning, I was 197.4. Anyway, things are moving in the right direction. I am definitely looking a lot leaner. If I had to guess what my body fat was right now, just based on my previous DEXs and my previous experience, at least having been down to 8.1% at one point in my life, I would imagine I am just under 9% right now. That's my best guess. I could just tell by like the vascularity in my arms and the little bit of vascularity and like just the cuts coming into my thighs, and I still have that little pooch, that little low belly fat there, but it's silly, but everybody knows their own body. I could tell by like the wrinkles and how like new wrinkles are forming and how that spot is going down. I could tell like I'm getting close, very close to being, like all-time lean. For me, may not look super lean to other people, but like for me, it's very lean. So, I had written in my calendar like a month ago or so that like by July 4th weekend, I should be like all time as lean as I've ever been. I should be under 8% body fat by July 4th. So that's a month away. And I could see that happening. I guess it's going to be very close. But, because we're only talking like if I can maintain all of my lean body mass and just continue to drop fat, your body fat percentage lowers pretty significantly at this body fat level for every like pound or two of fat that you lose, because you only have so much fat left. Like, not doing the calculation off the top of my head, but let's say I have 16 pounds of fat on my body. Every pound of solid fat lost is a huge percentage of that remaining fat. And, if I were to get down to, 5% body fat or so, that still leaves like 10% or 10 pounds or so of body fat on your body. So it's like, we're not talking a whole lot of like wiggle room left. It's just because it's the last remaining fat on your body. It takes a lot of patience to get rid of it. It's a slow process. It's a slow process because it's so difficult for your body to release that remaining fat. It's not a slow process because you have like tens and tens of pounds of fat to lose. So anyway, I'm in a good spot. I did kind of tweak my right knee doing legs on Saturday. I don't know what I was doing. I worked up to a weight I was supposed to do for 10. You know, feels heavy. On the third rep, I felt like a pretty sharp pain in my right knee, like right on top of my patella. And then, of course, I proceeded to do another 2 repetitions very carefully and gingerly before I realized, like, well, now I'm slowing things down. I'm doing it very carefully. It's like these are like kind of like grinders, and something doesn't feel right, and I still have like 5 reps to go. I'm gonna hurt myself. So I racked it. My knee was sore. Couldn't do leg extensions. It's still like a little, just like I feel like a little tightness, but just in that one specific area, not in the muscle, just right on top of my patella. So I'm just going to keep an eye on it, but I don't think it's any big deal. And what else? I'm on my way to do upper body push workout with a shoulder focus. So I just kind of hit a place of a little bit of boredom with this workout, so I'm going to switch things up. So instead of doing like a seated barbell shoulder press, I'm going to widen my grip a little bit, move over to the Smith machine, and I'm going to do a behind the neck press on the Smith machine, but just more like bodybuilding fashion, like whereas like a shoulder press, seated shoulder press with a barbell, I would bring the bar all the way down to my clavicle, like trying to get like full range of motion, like training it like a strength movement. But on the behind the neck press, I'm not going to have that much range of motion, and I'm going to kind of stop just shy of lockout with my triceps. I'm going to do like more like a bodybuilding movement, lighter weight, more reps, and just see how it feels. I mean, I could always go back if I don't like it, but I think it's going to be a nice change of pace. And I have just a different tricep exercise I'm going to do today. And there's one other thing I was going to do. Yeah, I'm going to do heavier side raises. I kind of fallen into a habit of starting off my workouts with side raises, either a cable side raise or a seated dumbbell side raise. And it's been a while since I've tried to like push the weight and done a little bit, just adding a little momentum. So I'm going to do a standing side raises, which I used to do a lot of, and allow myself a little bit of like momentum so I could push the weight a little bit higher on Mondays. Other than that, what else was I going to update you on? Guess that was it. Oh, yeah, still maintaining like close to now like 11,500 steps a day. So my steps have gone up a little bit. I'm just trying to keep a very safe margin above 10,500, only because that's the promise I made to myself. And that's where I wanted to kind of keep things, knowing that if I had to push harder, towards the end of prep, that I'd have room to like build my steps up higher. But I'm like roughly around 11,000 average every day. But like I said, like right now my average for the past 7 days was like 11,400. I'm still at 2,600 calories, so I haven't touched that. I'm not planning on touching that until kind of fat loss stalls a little bit, because it really just started picking up this past week, which makes sense because I dropped from 2,700 to 2,600 just to kind of, encourage my body to start like, come on, let's make like let's make a change in our scale weight. Like I feel like I'm getting leaner. I see myself getting leaner, but I still psychologically need a little bit of confirmation on the scale. So everything's going in the right direction. I'm about to hit this workout, and then I have clients, and then typical day of eating and all that stuff. So hope all is well. I'll talk to you guys soon.